Hi everyone, I just wanted to take a moment and talk about the next phase of our solar system project. So listen, the research is done, and so now it's time for you to teach the rest of us what you've learned. And I want to share some really basic principles with you and also talk about some specific ideas. All right, so first off, I need you to know our theme is Take Us There. And whenever you are working on your project, I need you to keep these three words in mind. Take us there. Literally, what I mean by that is I want you to build your project, or as you design your project and work on it, I want you to make sure that whatever you're doing helps us in our imagination to visit that object. Whatever your object is, I literally want you to take us there. So, really, what I'm concerned about is that some of you, because you've done some research about a bunch of random facts about your object, may try to share those random facts. Please do not do that. I am not looking for a bunch of random facts. The research is over. You guys know some things about your object, but now it's time for you to take us there. This is a new phase. So really for most objects, you're going to focus on those surface features. What would a human see if they were to visit? What would it be like? Now that can be done in any number of ways, as we'll see. But I want you to focus on what it would be like there, particularly for humans. Now, clearly, this idea works really easily for those objects with solid surfaces, but for our gas giant planets, those outer four planets, that may look a little different. So you need to keep that in mind. So, just to be clear, this project is about your solar system object. It's what you researched. We are not changing topics. So I think that's one of the things that I learned yesterday is that some of you were inventing a project of your own making about a topic of your own choosing. So the project will be of your own making and choosing, but the topic is set. It is your solar system object. This is just the next phase of that project. All right, so a little bit about cost. My goal would be for you and your family to spend little to no money. I realize that some of you will spend some money, and that's okay. But I just want you to know you're not going to be able to go to Walmart and buy stickers and poster board and fancy markers and be able to buy a good grade. Actually, I appreciate the projects more where I can see that you have done some problem solving, figured it out, and repurposed materials from around your home. If you're planning on spending money, you need to start talking to someone in your family now. Do not wait. They may say, hey, that does not work for me. And remember, that is not my goal. The more cheaply this can be done, really the better I like it. Okay. I've had several people already ask me about due dates. I don't have an exact due date yet. Let's just for now use October 15th as a tentative due date. So that is 3 weeks from today. Okay. Um, Now, some of you may hear 3 weeks. Why? I've got 2.5 weeks before I need to get started. That would be a huge mistake. I will tell you that there will be some milestones that you'll have to meet with me each week. But beyond that, I hope that some of you will choose things that maybe are a bit outside of your comfort zone that may be challenging, and you need to give yourself some time to fail. The thing about fun and challenging things and learning new things is there is always problems and there's always mistakes. You need to anticipate that. Give yourself time to fail. Do not procrastinate. Don't do it. All right. I want to talk about a couple of ideas, but really, uh, there's two that seem to come up a lot. Let's talk a little bit about visual art. Okay. So, one of the ideas that I'm supplying for you, and remember, you must take us there, is visual art. Now, for some of you, you may go, oh, that's a painting. Some of you may say that's a poster. Um, yes, those would definitely fit into visual art. Please notice that for most of the projects, there is some sort of minimum size or minimum length or minimums. You need to make sure you understand what those are before you get started and before you look at your materials. So I'm asking that your visual art be at least 24 by 24, but now I am flexible in the exact size. As long as the two numbers that you're using, your measurements, for area are going to equal 576 in total area, that's fine. So, for example, maybe it's going to be 12 by 36, or we can have different sizes, but in the end, I need this much total area. This is not a writing project. So if your idea is to make a poster and to put a bunch of random facts and words on it, this is not your project. This is about you figuring out how to show us your object, how to take us there. I'm not asking for a beautiful representation of your object, of your planet. That doesn't necessarily take us there. We could do that with a picture. Some things that I would recommend you think about would be maybe show the entire object, but then have some zoomed in close-ups. So do like multiple panels that would show different parts of a project. Doesn't matter to me what kind of tools you use to produce this, but I do require that any visual arts products be in color. If you think otherwise or you have other ideas, you'll need to contact me via email. So remember, there is a minimum size. This is 5 words, no more. And also, please do bear in mind that you have to think about how you're going to zoom in and take us there. This is a really challenging project. Make a movie. So I think many of us may end up, particularly if you're part of my remote group, you may end up making a movie. Why is that? Well, no matter what it is that you do, you're going to have some way, since you are fully remote, to share your project with us. And so that is most likely going to turn out to be via a quick video. So keep that in the back of your mind. Video editing skills are a really new thing for most of you. You need to get some footage. You need to practice putting things, splicing things together and clipping things. You need to find some software, some free software that you're comfortable with. All kinds of things that you can do with Make a Movie. So this is an interesting project, but this is one that might take some time. All right, 3D model. So please notice that once again, there is a minimum size, and remember, you need to take us there. Let me point out to start with, I am not looking for a replica of the entire object. In other words, a painted styrofoam ball stuck in a shadow box. That is not what I'm looking for. That does not take us there. A model of an entire planet or moon is simply not going to show us the details that do that. So instead, what I want you to do is I want you to actually think small. I want you to zoom in and build something that we would find on that actual object. So for example, let's suppose that your object has ice volcanoes. You may choose to build a volcano. Let's suppose that you want to share that your object has a really thick atmosphere that causes some runaway greenhouse effects or some other strange phenomena. Well, if you want to do that, you've got to zoom in on that atmosphere. Really, for me, the best materials out there are paper. I think that you can do anything with paper as long as you're willing to get creative, and also salt dough. So some of you who may be thinking about models, you may find that like artist clay is very expensive, way too expensive for something that's going to be 16 by 16. So instead, you may want to think about something called salt dough. You can find salt dough recipes online, and essentially salt dough is make it yourself Play-Doh. Okay, I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about a couple more of these projects, but for today, that's going to do it. So keep in mind, don't procrastinate. Start trying to narrow down an idea. Look through this list of ideas. If you have other suggestions, please send those to me. Remember, you are free to choose to create your own unique project. Really, you can use none of my ideas, but the bottom line is you have to take us there. If you decide that you have an idea that's better than my ideas, I love it, but you're going to have to send me an email. I want you to think about me giving you some feedback and you getting approval to continue forward with that project. All right, gang, have a good day.